It is 34 minutes after the hour on the Stephanie Miller Show. I'm Jody Hamilton, sitting in for Ms. Miller with the lovely Dana Goldberg.
Good morning, good morning.
Zoomings, 323-410-0458 is the phone number.
Uh-oh. Can we do this? Yes.
Yay, Paul in Seattle, hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. You have a nice voice.
I wanted to go over some cold, hard facts about the debt, which I think people will find astonishing. The national debt currently stands at officially $28.4 trillion.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. 27.6 of that 27.6 of that $1 trillion was acquired in the last 40 years since Ronald Reagan took office. The national debt when Jimmy Carter left office was $800 billion.
Right.
$800 billion.
Mm-hmm.
And of that last 40 years, 24 of that has been under Republican presidents, all of whom had tax cuts for the rich.
Right.
Reagan-Bush regime quadrupled the national debt. Of course, George W. Bush had tax cuts and left the economy in shambles for Barack Obama. And of that $27 trillion accrued in the last 40 years, Donald Trump contributed fully a third of it.
Yeah.
Almost $9 trillion was by Donald Trump in 4 years. And here's the thing. We always hear from Republicans that American family has to live on a budget, so does federal government. Well, we haven't. Guess who the last president signed a federal budget was? George W. Bush in 2008, because Republicans in the Senate have filibustered every single budget that has been put forth by Democrats in the House. When they controlled the House, they never submitted a budget to Barack Obama because they said they didn't trust him, but they never submitted one to Donald Trump either. So the reason they don't want a budget, because that's revenues and expenditures. The difference is the difference between them is either your deficit or your surplus. But if you have a budget, you can't have tax cuts because the budget is a law.
Right.
So you can't have tax cuts. And that's what they really want is tax cuts.
Yep. Paul is one of the smartest boys in class.
That's right.
We like him.
I mean, it is pretty impressive that a man, Donald Trump, who has defaulted on loans and refused to pay people his entire life, somehow convinced the entire Republican Party to vote to actually default on his loans for the last 5 years. The $9 trillion he just mentioned, I mean, love him or hate him, and I know we all hate him, that's impressive that you got the entire Republican Party to say, we're not going to pay for his loans either. Yeah.
It's amazing. It is. I blame partly, a lot of this on Mark Burnett convincing the general public that the man was a businessman, was good at his job. So Mark Burnett has a lot of splaining to do. But Donald Trump, I love this story. He faces another legal defeat after using Eddie Grant's Electric Avenue without permission.
Oh, God.
And the reason that he's in trouble is because the campaign used Electric Avenue in a Twitter video. It's not like it's in a venue that has a blanket license. Then it's not, the way they used it, it was alongside out-of-context excerpts from Joe Biden's past speeches and interviews. And it was used in a Trump campaign that was posted to Twitter. And the usage isn't covered by any blanket licenses. The campaign therefore needed a bespoke license, which it did not secure. The video's creator did not edit the song lyrics, vocals, or instrumentals. Listen. Or vocals. They didn't, like if they had done like a Rocky Mountain Mike version or a Randy Rainbow where they changed the lyrics, that's one thing.
He's been losing. Amorosa, this.
I know the Omarosa thing was great. Loser. He's with the big L. Yeah. I mean, he's just, it's incredible to me that he was getting away with a lot of things. But you can, like in a concert venue, large venues have blanket ASCAP and BMI and CSAC licenses, and they just pay it. It used to be, I don't know if I'm correct still, it used to be like 1% of their net revenues to cover those blanket licenses. And the only reason I know that is because in my entertainment law class, I had to study BMI versus CBS, and my dad's associate producer on my mom's show was testified in that case.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
I actually called him up because I had to do a brief on it. So I called up Mr. Wright and I'm like, so tell me what your testimony, do you remember this? And he goes, oh my God, I totally do. Because at the time, CBS didn't want to have to pay BMI for the blanket licensing.
Okay.
And they had all these variety shows on.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so it's so much easier just to pay a blanket licensing fee because then you don't have to worry about...
And you don't have to keep track of what songs are played.
No, you do.
Oh, you do?
Still have to keep, because trust me, I had to do it for mom's videos, for mom's shows. They did do
like a log? They
music,
kept the log?
music logs, yes.
Yeah.
They did have to do that to turn into the powers that be.
Okay.
But what they didn't have to do was contact each and every publisher.
Okay, got it.
Individually. It just makes it easier. But CBS was like, I don't want to do it anymore. And Bob was like, no, please do it. It's going to be a pain in our butt to have to contact everybody. You know, they still had to figure out who was who. But yeah, I mean, that's the only reason I know that. And that's the one law class I took.
All right.
Entertainment law.
Yeah. I took communications law.
Together we can do nothing with law.
Really?
How about you? What's your law degree in, Dana?
It's in comedy. My mother's very disappointed as a Jewish mom. My law degree is in stand-up comedy.
You could have become a doctor or a lawyer. What's wrong?
I could have.
You could have. What is wrong with you? You could have been a friend of mine when he went to medical school. He's this amazing singer and composer. We literally referred to him as the singing surgeon for the longest time. Yeah. And he dropped out. His parents also nice Jewish family. They also, when he dropped out of UCLA medical school. That's how good a med student he was, right?
Yep.
He dropped out of there and went to Juilliard instead. And you're like,
good for him.
And no, I mean, and his parents are singers and everything, but it was like, oh, we wanted you to be the singing surgeon.
Oh, there would have been, yeah.
Yeah, it would have been. And if you need anything if you're sick or anything, call him on the phone. He's a really good diagnostician still. Right. He can diagnose a disease from 3,000 miles away still.
That sounds legal. in his one, what a position one?
Exactly.
Is that what you learned?
Exactly. Yeah. And he also has perfect pitch, which is even crazier, you know. He's a great singer, by the way. So Rachel Maddow read. I love her.
Transition.
I know. Segues are me, right?
I love it. I love it.
I actually have
Rachel Maddow.
Yes, Dr. Maddow. No, on my show, actually, Dana, we have a thing called "Thank you for playing non sequitur."
Yeah.
Nice.
Maddow read damning Giuliani testimony showing the roots of the election. This is important. The initial seeds of this whole conspiracy theory is that the animating force of the Republican Party, Giuliani, was pressed under oath to explain where that stuff came from.
Okay.
In terms of the eyes on the information about Dr. Krumer, who is the security director against Trump's re-election campaign, we've got some media reports that you generally described, and you looked at some Facebook postings that you described Giuliani was asked. He said he couldn't recall which platform he viewed the posts on.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember if it was Facebook. It's exculpatory. Those social media posts go like they're all at once to me.
Right.
And then Maddow was speechless after she was like, Irk. She said, so the president's lawyer, maybe he looked at a Facebook post to come up with Dominion did it conspiracy theory, but he can't really remember all the social media that all looks the same to him.
All right.
That story the story that he admits was just concocted and is what ultimately led to the attack on the Capitol on January 6th and numerous unnecessary election recounts and audits. But it's all made up. These people, I can't wait for him to go down. I mean, he is
in so much trouble.
He is in because he has no money now too,
Right.
and Donald Trump's not helping him, which is hilarious to me. Not unexpected.
He's really shocked that he's not paying him for his services. Come on.
Yeah, because we know how well Donald pays, people. He's. Have I told you I'm like Stephanie that I will die mad that Hillary Clinton was not elected?
Absolutely.
Many
Donald
people
Trump
will.
pays people to stop talking, not to start talking.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now he has, speaking of non sequiturs, Trump-backed Arizona candidate for governor claims to know, that's not quite a non sequitur, the mastermind behind the stolen election.
All right.
Carrie Lake, who you told us you knew.
Oh, yeah. Okay. She was the Channel 10 news anchor for like 15 years. And so she's very, very well known in the Phoenix area and probably all across Arizona because that station is carried on cable systems all over the state.
Right.
Yeah.
So she has accused Secretary of State Katie Hobbs of being the mastermind behind what she claims was a stolen election. She said she could defeat Hobbs in a race for governor because the Secretary of State would be behind bars for actually counting votes.
She's crazy.
She cray-cray.
Yeah.
She's the Larry Elder of Arizona politics, it sounds like.
Well, yeah.
And of course he supports her because, duh. I just... Dana, help.
But she has name recognition in the state, so she's someone to watch. I don't think she's doing well in the polls, but she is someone to watch.
I think Katie Hobbs has a very good chance of winning her race.
I think so too.
I think that's really wonderful. She's liked. She's doing a good job. Arizona, if we let it, it'll continue to go purple. If we let it,
yes.
We got to get people out of there like cinema that are just, everyone voted for her and they were super excited and she has completely disappointed them. I'll tell you what, that woman has a lot of chutzpah. Not in a good way. On social media, she will put a post on Instagram and leave the comment section open. That's how I know she doesn't give a crap about her constituents or what people think about her, or if she's doing the right thing for her voters, because they are destroying her on social media, and you can actually turn off those comments, and she chooses not to. She's that cocky about what she's doing.
Yeah.
So do you think she's going after a lobby position after 2024, whenever she's up for re-election?
I personally think she's lining her pockets that she'll never have to work again, is what it looks like right now. So I'm not sure what position. She may just do triathlons for the rest of her life.
With as many times as she's changed her party affiliation, she's just an opportunist, and that is coming out. That is becoming clear to the voters of Arizona.
100%.
Yeah, she has no ideology.
No, not at all.
She's a mercenary.
Yes.
I don't like her.
Because when I lived in Tempe, she was my state representative in the state House of Representatives, and she was part of the Green Party.
And did you like how she governed?
She was fine. Yeah, I mean, she didn't make any waves or anything like she is now.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, it's because you made waves back then. She wouldn't get to where she was.
Well, Tempe is like a really, really hardcore blue area
Right.
of the Phoenix area. So, she fit right in with Tempe.
Because wasn't she a Sanders supporter too?
I don't know about that.
That I'm not sure of. All I know is CNN needs to stop doing fluff pieces on her style and all of her edginess.
And the purple hair.
Oh,
Look at her wigs and oh my God. Yeah, let's talk about the fact that she has not voted very much with her party and the people that elected her to actually do her job.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the people that knocked on doors for her are getting pissed off. There was an article in the Arizona Republic yesterday about that. They were getting real pissed off at her.
Yeah, they are, and they should be. I mean, she's horrific, and we were talking earlier about the fact that she's not the president of the United States, and she's holding up really good legislation that will not only help the rest of the country, but her constituents themselves. I mean, both packages. I mean, she voted for the smaller package already.
Yeah.
But both packages offer so much good for both states, and it's insane for her and West Virginia that it's insane that she wouldn't even consider it. It's going to help her. It won't hurt her to do that. So I don't understand.
She's got a lot of nerve. I mean, even posting things about, register to vote. The other day was the National Register to Vote Day.
Oh, my God.
And of course, she's posting about it. And I'm like, yeah, register to vote so that your state can take away that by some sort of voter suppression law when we lose this seat. Like, it's just ridiculous because she will not get rid of vote to get rid of the filibuster. It's so hypocritical, all the things she's posting. It infuriates me.
Me too. I'm glad I don't live in Arizona. I kind of wish I did because I would vote her out now. But I do have relatives in Arizona. Vote her out, people.
We need a strong Democrat to go up against her seat. A really strong Democrat, so we do not lose that one.
I agree, because we can't lose the Senate. And we have an opportunity in 22, especially if the voting rights bills do pass. Thank you very much. We will have an opportunity to take the Senate in a bigger majority because the Republicans have 22 seats to defend versus I think we only have not even 10. I think it's less than that. So we have an opportunity, and two Republicans are retiring. So that's good because name recognition is a big deal when you vote for somebody. So kids, make sure you're registered always, especially right before an election. Just make sure you're registered, have the right ID, get the gun license. You don't have to get a gun.
I mean, do we even need to do a commercial for the Steph store? I mean, the shirts are flying off the right. Look at this. Look at it. Get your face
Look at that.
Get your face up there. Look. We have them for Team Pfizer, Team J&J. We are all Team Vaccine here. We have amazing.
That's right.
And you can get it on everything. Right, Chris? Not just shirts.
Bath mats, shower curtains. You can get it on art, a clock. You can get
Duvet.
a sexy bomb on a clock.
We have Stephanie Miller swag. We have sexy liberal swag. And, of course, all the vaccine shirts. Get it now. StephanieMiller.com. Whee!